Welcome to Brand Lover, honest, real, and lively conversations for flourishing entrepreneurs and budding business owners on a mission to cultivate a heartfelt brand that connects with their purpose-driven mission. My hope is that you walk away feeling inspired and refreshed with a weekly takeaway in your back pocket that you can apply to your life or business. Maybe you're starting a side hustle, or you're new to business, or perhaps you're even a couple of years in, but you find communicating your brand message hard and confusing, or maybe you're struggling to show up for your brand because you're not exactly sure exactly what it is, or you don't really know how to show up in the marketplace in comparison to your competitors. Maybe you're constantly comparing yourself or suffering from imposter syndrome, and you're just not quite sure how to tap into those aligned, perfect customers that you see other people tapping into. So today I would love to share with you 3 mistakes that I see new business owners make over and over and over again, and it breaks my heart to see them do so because they're unknowingly damaging the very brand that they are trying to build. I love seeing new businesses thrive, marketing their products or service with confidence, and knowing that they're showing up in just the right way to attract the right people with ease and fun, because business should be fun in general, and that's what I want for you. So let's dive in. First of all, why should you even care about the brand and the image that you're sending out into the world to communicate your offer being your product or your service? The way that think about the way that it looks, the way that it feels, the way that it inspires people. All of these things are things that you should care about. Spoiler alert. Because despite what some might say, first impressions do count. Just about every industry these days is saturated. There's no denying it. There are more businesses, particularly online businesses, being started now than ever before, particularly after the last couple of years, but also because it's actually really easy to do so in this digital age. It's free and it's simple. But what does this mean for you? It means that in a crowded market, your impact needs to be as strong as it possibly can be. Gone are the days where you can set up your lemonade stand and, reel in the customers. The way that you're evoking feeling and emotion in your audience needs to be on point, because that is what is going to spur them into action. It is the thing that is going to make you stand out to the right people. Your brand needs to stand out in the right way to ensure you're capturing the hearts of the right people who will fall in love with your product or service straight away. And yes, part of this is your logo and your colors and your fonts, because your visuals are a very useful way in which to communicate how your brand feels. And that is just one small aspect of the whole branding process. You don't automatically get given a marketing or business degree when you sign up for an ABN, even though that would be amazing. Branding is essentially about defining the heart and soul of your brand so that it is easy to communicate your message through your marketing. Okay, it's the culture, it's the values and the personality that drives your entire business forward. It is literally the first thing you should focus on, because everything stems from there. So let's take a look at the 3 biggest mistakes business owners make in the early stages of business. Okay, number 1. They don't really know what a brand is or why it's worth investing in. You don't automatically receive that marketing degree. It's okay if this is you. If you don't really quite understand what it's all about or how it works or how it even relates to marketing, that's not your fault. It's not your zone of genius. And there are so many things to learn when you start a business. Everything just feels hard. I get it. I have been there multiple times. So, I also just want to, reassure you that my clients have been there too, and I have led them through branding like hundreds of times. So it's okay. What I'm trying to say is that you're not alone. The second mistake is that they may understand that branding is important because it is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but they don't know the methodical steps to take to get it right from the beginning. And this results in years of confusion and guesswork before they finally save enough money to invest in a brand strategist or a designer. And this could be like years wasted of really just not knowing where you're going, not feeling confident, feeling fearful, and second guessing everything that you're putting out into the marketplace. Where if you just take these simple steps right from the beginning, you could save yourself all of that heartache and have really clear direction from the very beginning. So the third mistake is unintentionally ignoring the brand foundation and strategy phase and start communicating their message randomly without any intentional forethought. So as I said before, this results in a confused audience. This isn't great. This is probably like the least ideal thing, because what you're trying to do is instill trust in them. And guess what? It can take years to turn a reputation around if it's already in place. You know this, even in personal relationships. It's the same thing with brands, because the big wide world has already decided what that reputation is because you haven't taken control of it from the very beginning. If you don't have a clear idea of how your brand needs to look and feel, and it's not about what you like or your personal preferences necessarily, or you don't know how it should be communicated, both visually and vocally and through your copy and through your website, everything, all of your customer touch points, you will be giving off an unprofessional, scattered vibe that gets lost in the crowd, unfortunately. So your message will be weak, lacking confidence, and your audience does pick up on that if you're not presenting professionally and in the right way. So what happens is you end up wasting time, you end up wasting money, unfortunately, and you will lose potential clients and sales because your efforts are misguided. So straight talking, you will fall behind your competition because people will be confused about how it is that you actually help them. So it's okay, because everyone starts out in this phase, and hopefully by identifying these things, you may sort of be getting some clarity arise around what you need to focus on. And it's really how early you implement the branding process that makes the difference. And what I'd really love to do as a little bonus is debunk the myth that your brand is your logo, your colors, and your fonts. Okay, so what do you think the first thing is that people do when they start a business? What did you do? If you already have started your business, I will bet I don't know. I don't know what I would bet. But so this is how it usually goes. You come up with a fabulous idea. You go and register your ABN, you come up with a name for your business. The next step is your logo, right? Because it makes you feel legitimate, and it makes you, feel like, oh, I've got a real business now because I have a logo. And you think your brand is sorted. That can't be further from the truth. It is so wrong. In fact, your logo is a very last step of the branding process. It's actually sort of like the answer at the end of a very long equation. And I bet you didn't think you'd ever hear that from someone like me, a brand designer. But don't get me wrong, logos are incredibly important for all sorts of reasons, but your brand is what people are feeling, thinking, and saying about your product or service. So hopefully that's helped to debunk a little bit of that myth and, the lingo and the language that people are using. So doing the groundwork to discover, understand, and establish your brand foundation and strategy before communicating your message through your logo and colors is actually paramount to branding success. So creating an aligned, positive reputation with the people that need your product or service will fast track your business growth, okay? So This is actually how strong branding works and how investing in the branding process is hugely beneficial in the early stages of your business. It actually helps to grow your business for you. So, with all of that said, I would love to let you know that on the 27th of July, I'm hosting a brand new workshop, especially for young businesses who are ready to make an impact with their brand and go about it properly. It's called Brand Camp, and for this round only, I'm offering it completely free to celebrate the doors opening to Brand Alchemy in just a few weeks' time. So head on over to rachelreiter.com/brandcamp or simply click the link down in the show notes to register. I would like to tell you to hurry to grab your free ticket because I may have to cap the numbers. I have never run this workshop before and I don't know what to expect. It is going to be intimate. It's going to be us live on Zoom with actual interactive steps that I'm going to lead you through. So thank you so much again for being here on the Brand Lover podcast. I will see you hopefully inside Brand Camp. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this week's episode of Brand Lover, take a screenshot of wherever you're listening and share your biggest takeaway on Instagram or Facebook, and don't forget to tag me. I'd love to give you a shout out and thank you personally. Also, feel free to subscribe and leave a review to help the Brand Lover podcast reach more heart-aligned entrepreneurs just like yourself. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.